Hi, my name is Lewis with Rossman Supply Group, and today I want to discuss the restocking fee. Some of the things that I'd like to touch on in this video are why a business may have a restocking fee, why customers hate the restocking fee, why a customer may actually be better off purchasing from a business that has a restocking fee, the philosophies behind the restocking fee, the philosophy behind why customers hate the restocking fee, and that's about it. So I'd like to start by defining a restocking fee. A restocking fee is when you return an item and you don't get all of your money back. Let's say you buy a $10 item. If a company has a 10% restocking fee, you will only get back $9. Now you may wonder, I gave them back their entire product. Why are they only giving me back a portion of my money? Now, the reason behind a restocking fee, there's a couple of them. The first reason is typically we can't resell this as new. If you open an item and you've touched it and used it, it's likely going to sit on a shelf because everybody's going to go for the new item. They're never going to want to buy that unless it's the only one left and you heavily discount it. And a restocking fee is one of the ways that a business recoups this loss. Now, the second reason that a business may charge a restocking fee, and this is one that I don't really agree with, is to pay for the cost of managing a return. This I can empathize with on eBay a little bit, but I still don't do it. Having a restocking fee just because you have to have somebody log into eBay and PayPal, send a transaction cancellation request, come up with a item not paid dispute if they don't accept it to get your fee back, log into PayPal, which while they're a great merchant services provider, they're one of the slowest websites I've dealt with in the past 5 years. This takes time, and you have to have an employee dedicated to doing just this. So I understand why a business owner may want to have a fee to cover these costs. But I still can't do it. I feel like if you have an employee, and you have an employee that's going to sit here all day, that's just one of the things that they have to do. I don't believe that's a cost that you should pass on to your customer. That should be built into your markup. The third reason that a business may charge a restocking fee is shipping. This is an interesting one because I received a message about it the other day. They said, well, how is it that your restocking fee covers shipping? Because the shipping is free. Shipping is free to you. Shipping is not free to me. Shipping via the Postal Service, via DHL, via UPS, or via USPS is not free. You have to pay to ship an item to a customer. You always have to pay to ship an item to a customer. There is no such thing as free shipping. Free shipping is an illusion created by marketing people because they figured out that people hate paying for shipping. People like paying for an item and getting it. They don't like seeing that there's this extra added-on charge that is surprising them that costs anywhere from $5 to $20. People would rather buy something for $60 in free shipping than $45 plus 15 shipping. It's just the way it is. And so one thing I've noticed with restocking fees versus refunding shipping is while people hate paying shipping, they actually like being refunded without shipping. Let's say they don't get that 15 back, they'll go, oh, well, I understand. Versus a restocking fee. The reason is that people find restocking fees to be punishing. The word fee in and of itself sounds like a punishment. And punishments remind us of when we were children and our parents would send us to our rooms or say, you didn't eat all of your corn, you get no dessert. And we have a long-term association of that being bad. We have a lifelong association with being punished as being bad, with bad memories and bad experiences of being under somebody else. And as adults, we hate being punished. And a restocking fee is punishing your customer. And punishing your customer is one of the worst things that you can do to them, even if they deserve it. But now, again, I sympathize with the first reason, and I sympathize with the third reason. The first reason being that you cannot sell the item as new, and the third reason that it actually costs you money to get that item to somebody, only for them to send it back. I agree under one idea, that it was not your fault. If it is the vendor's fault, if the vendor sent something bad, then there should be no fee. But if a customer says this is bad, and it's not, or the customer says I didn't really need this, or a very common case, they say it's bad when they know it's not, to avoid a fee, then give them a fee. Now, with restocking fees, a restocking fee is meant to cover the cost of having to resell something as used. So one thing you should think about if you're looking to receive a new product, and you always want to get a new product, is whether this vendor has a restocking fee. Vendors without restocking fees typically are less likely to resell a used piece of merchandise as used, since they need to make back as much money as possible to make up for all these times where they're losing $8 on shipping. They may just clean off a screen and send it to you as new because they have no way to recoup their loss from that sale. If I sell something as new and then I take it back with a restocking fee, if I've taken back 12 or 13 bucks, I can now afford to sell that screen for $5 or $10 cheaper to the next customer, and I'll either break even or with any luck only lose $1 or $2. If I send somebody a screen and they send it back and it's used, now I have to lose the $10, $15 in selling it as used and the $8 in shipping. So as a vendor without a restocking fee, I may be more inclined to sell the used devices as new just to recoup the cost of doing business with the customers that sent back working product. A vendor with a restocking fee, and I've noticed this, vendors with restocking fees very rarely sell used parts as new. They'll list them on their website as open box, or like Newegg does, or they'll list them as refurbished or used. Whereas vendors that have no restocking fee, they'll often have no used products on their site, which is really interesting in an industry where there are a lot of returns on items that you can't resell as new. If somebody puts a screen on their keyboard and leans on it a little bit and then figures out it's not for their machine, the key is left a scratch in it, and there's no amount of cleaning that will get that off. One of the ways that we're able to get away with it is the expectation of the home user. Keep in mind, a home user that's receiving one of these new parts they don't really know what to expect. Whereas a technician who's ordered hundreds of these knows this is supposed to come in this blue wrapping. Then it has this cover over it that has these two little pieces of tape. Then when I take it off, I'll see that it's 100% new and perfect. A home user doesn't really know what to expect. If you send them something with no bag, just bubble wrap, and has a tiny little fingerprint on it, they'll just go, oh, there we go. Whereas a technician will go, you sold me a return. What a lot of businesses I've noticed do, they will send all of their customers that live in a home a used part, or they'll delegate the return shelf only to residential customers. And in shipping software, it's very easy to tell you which customers are your business customers, and which customers are your residential customers. Since the residential customers are less likely to notice. Every single time we receive back a working screen that a customer said was bad or just didn't need, we clean it up as best we can, we put it on a used shelf, and once we've gained about 10 or 20 of that model, we'll put a listing up on eBay, or we'll put a little checkbox on our website right next to the word used, and we'll sell that part as used at maybe $5 to $15 off. And we can afford to do that because we've taken $5 to $15 back from each one of those customers. We wouldn't be able to afford to do that if we didn't have a restocking fee. Another thing to consider when dealing with the restocking fee is why not just pass this cost on to other customers? For example, have no restocking fee of 10%, just raise your rates by 10% to everybody. And there's a strong reason that I disagree with this. I believe in rewarding good behavior. I don't want to provide a consistent equal experience for everybody. I believe that if you're the person who read the warning in our listing that says, if your laptop screen has a wire coming out of it, do not buy this part. You must check the LCD inside your laptop and compare it to the LCD pictured below before buying. If you read that bold, capital lettered warning, then you deserve to have a better experience than the person who ignored that warning and purchased it and got the wrong one for their laptop. In an ideal world, everybody would have a perfect experience, but that cannot always be the case. Look on eBay, search for Acer 5517 laptop LCD, and you'll find two different screens. One has a wire coming out of it in the bottom, and a connector for the video in the upper right corner. The other LCD has a connector in the bottom left corner and no wire. This happens because, on occasion, a laptop manufacturer will use two different LCDs in one model laptop. So you can have two Acer 5517 sitting here, and one of them will have a different model LCD than the other. There are a plethora of reasons that this occurs that I will discuss in another video where we discuss how laptop manufacturers choose an LCD model for a particular laptop. But to keep it simple here, that happens on occasion. And many laptop manufacturers do this. So we have these bold, capitalized warnings. And I can tell you from experience, they do dog shit. We can have yellow exclamation points saying, don't buy this if your laptop looks like this. Doesn't matter. We could have high resolution images of what we're selling. Doesn't matter. We can have a high-resolution image of the good screen that you're buying with a green check mark and a picture of the screen you may have in your laptop now with a red circle and a red line going through it saying no, and people will still buy the wrong one. If you don't believe me, start an eBay account. I'll give you the screen so that you can see this for yourself, and you'll see. Nobody reads the listing. Nobody looks at the picture. That is all just extra nonsense. Oh, I'm just going to click buy now. You could have a terms of service. Doesn't matter. None of that makes a difference. You need to create your listings with the idea that almost nobody is actually going to read them on eBay, and that's just the reality of what it is. So, now when somebody sends me a message like one of the ones I received today, I'm going to go to the Solve Me folder here in the eBay email account. This is the kind of message that we'll get. I'm just going to click on one of the item not described. Let's try to find a good one. Here we go. Is different laptop than one inside laptop. Laptop screen not same. I ordered this and you say it would work with this LCD, but LCD does not fit. I demand full refund. Thief. Thief is spelled T-H-E-E-F. This sentence structure is very typical of the average eBay customer. On average, if I were to graph this in any way or make statistics, you would see that on average, the eBay customer not only does not read the listing, but also cannot write in English. And this is not all eBay customers. This is just a great majority of the ones that decide to purchase from us. The customers who purchase off of our website typically read everything, and rare occasion that they do make a mistake or get the wrong part, they'll send a well-written email, or maybe even an angry email, but an email that makes English sense, and we will try to resolve the issue. Whereas here, this guy can't write. He hasn't shown, this guy has not shown me, or woman, I'm not going to be prejudiced here, this person has shown me that they have virtually no working brain cells. Now, if somebody else reads my listing and says, you know what, I've never opened a laptop before. Let me look at the picture and read this big warning over here before I buy it. Even though it's going to take 90 seconds out of my day, I'm going to read it because he took the time to put it here. If those people that read that, I don't want to give them a higher price. Why should I charge him more money because somebody else is an idiot? I don't want to subsidize the idiots with my intelligent customers. I don't want to raise the rate for my average customer. I want that screen to still be $55.99 for everybody. I don't want it to be $65.99 just because, you know, 1 in every 20 people who buys it is an idiot who I would rather have a 20% restocking fee that covers the cost of dealing with the idiot and then have the better price for the customer that actually took the time to read this. I don't want to punish somebody who went through the trouble to read what I wrote. Now, another thing to look at from a business standpoint is, depending on your particular business, none of this may even matter because customer perception is what will make you the most money. And again, as I explained in the first section of this video, people feel punished when you charge a fee. People would rather pay $60 for an item, which, you know, they'd rather not pay for shipping, but people would rather pay $45 plus $15 and get back $45 on their refund and see, oh, they didn't refund shipping, than get a restocking fee of, let's say, you know, 20, 25%. They're going to say, those pieces of shit ripped me off. They charged me a fee. Because it just, it's an inverse effect. People like having free shipping, but hate not having the full amount refunded. Whereas people hate paying for shipping, but are okay with not having their shipping refunded. So one way or the other, you're kind of screwed. But now, one thing that a couple of our customers brought up is you're making enough money on these as it is. Look at Apple. Apple does not have a restocking fee because we often sell Apple laptop screens that are made by LG or AU Optronics. They'll say Apple got rid of their restocking fee last year's. Why can't you get rid of yours? Have you ever Googled and seen how much Apple makes when you sell an iPhone 4? Or the cost of manufacturing of it versus the retail cost of going to an Apple store without a contract and without a coupon and just plopping down, you know, $6, $7, $750 for an iPhone 4S or 5 with the highest specifications and the highest storage? There's a lot of profit margin. Let's do some profit here. Let's check on that screen. That screen that we sold for $55.99. Let's say our eBay fee is around 6.5%, PayPal fee 1.8. Again, these are rough percentages. It's not correct. So I'm going to multiply this by 0.935 to cover eBay and PayPal fee. Let's minus the average $7.50 that's spent on shipping of the product. let's subtract about $1 for a box and bubble wrap. That brings us to $43.85. Now let's subtract the $40 that part cost us. Let's subtract the about $2.75 it cost importing it into the United States. And for this particular product, there's a profit margin of $1.10, which I'm rounding down to $1.10 from 1.10065. When this product sells, we make $1.10. So let's say you cost us $8. Let's not even say that you touched the product and we can't resell it as new. Let's just say you got it, or you didn't even get it because you were never home, so the post office decided to return it to us, or your address is invalid. Let's say we lose that $8 or $8.50. We would have to sell this item successfully to about 8 or 9 other customers just to make up for the money lost on your sale. 9 boxes have to be packaged, bubble wrapped, taped, and sent out the door without a hitch to make up for one sale that we had no control over. Because again, there's nothing we can do to stop people from buying the wrong part. It's just not possible. If there's a way to get people to read what is in an eBay item description, I would pay to find it, because it would save us a lot of money. But it takes a lot of sales to make up for that. Now, if you're Apple and you're making a couple of $100s every time somebody buys this, okay, this phone's used. We got to sell it as refurbished after polishing it up a little bit on our website. We'll sell it on the Apple.com refurbished store for $50 less. But who cares? Because the next customer that comes in, we're going to make a couple of $100s off of. It's easy to not have a restocking fee when your profit margin is high. In a business where profit margins are low, a restocking fee could actually be critical to whether or not that business succeeds, regardless of customer perception. Now, the downside of the restocking fee is that on occasion, somebody who does not deserve a restocking fee may get one. It may just be because of an error or a mistake, or it may just be because we've heard a plausible but believable story many, many times that wound up being a lie, that we may just think it's a lie. And to these people, I truly apologize from the bottom of my heart. I am very sorry, and if you were charged a fee and you should not have, and you know that you should not have, I wish you the best of luck in disputing it, because you deserve it, and I apologize. And that's the other thing you have to consider. The reason that our death penalty system takes so long, and the reason so many states do not have a death penalty, is because in the 1% case that they are wrong, they don't want to be wrong where they're really hurting somebody. Here, in those cases where we may be wrong, we may have taken somebody's $5 to $10. So, while I'm not saying I enjoy it, I'm at least a little, I can still sleep at night. But these are all the things that you should consider when considering whether or not to purchase from a vendor that has a restocking fee, and if you're a business owner, whether or not you're going to charge a restocking fee for your online or in-store purchases. And I hope this video has provided some insight into how this vendor-customer relationship works, why a vendor may charge a fee, why a vendor may not charge a fee, why customers hate them, when customers may be more adept to not hate you for having a fee. And good night.